Imagine this, you wake up one morning to find that you've lost the ability to walk and talk, literally overnight. And that's exactly what happened to our guest today, former semi-professional rugby player, James Sutliff.
Now, if you look at a photograph of James, you'd never know anything was wrong. But for the past 9 years, he has been battling a neurological disorder, a debilitating neurological disorder, which changed his life overnight. Now, he's here with his wife, Samantha, to discuss this. And the thing is, James can't really discuss it, Samantha. James can't really talk a lot about this. And can you tell us why?
Yeah, basically, James has a rare neurological dysfunction disorder called dystonia, which basically affects his speech. So it makes him hard to kind of communicate via talking, and this pretty much happened overnight. Yeah.
Very, very frightening for you, James. You know, you're a fit guy, you know, having a normal life as a 23-year-old. What can you remember that morning when you woke up? What did you think had happened?
Woke up okay. I had nap in the afternoon, and I woke up. My speech was slurred, disorientated. I found it hard to eat and to drink.
So literally your speech is slurred. I mean, that's very frightening. You can't eat or drink. What did you think?
Was it a bit like having a stroke or something?
Well, initially, that's what we thought it might have been. Obviously, for something to happen kind of almost instantly, I mean, he literally did go to bed and wake up and he is as he is, if not worse. So, I mean, for James, it was absolutely frightening. And I mean, we were all kind of taken aback when we first kind of heard James's speech, but it was kind of one of those things where we thought, you know what, this is going to sort itself out. And we didn't really know what to make of it.
But the man who you met and you fell in love with, not too long before, you hadn't been going out for a long time.
No.
But suddenly this guy had changed. He was a completely different person. But it didn't change you.
No.
You stayed in love with him. You stayed with him.
Definitely. Look at him. Yeah, I mean, James is James to me. You know, just because he's kind of has his disability, it makes no difference. He is.
And you can obviously understand James a lot more than other people because you're with him all the time.
99% of the time. Yeah. Occasionally I'll have selective hearing when I don't want to hear what he's saying.
How frustrating is it for you not being able to communicate as you could?
At the start, very hard. Now, I'm just used to it.
Just used to it, yeah.
It's me. I can't change. It is what it is.
How long before you got a diagnosis? Because there was quite a while when everyone was a bit baffled by this.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was actually 4 years.
4 years?
4 years since James's first symptoms that he got a diagnosis. And during that 4 years, James actually developed symptoms in his hands, and his hands curl inwards involuntary. And it makes it very hard for him to do kind of just general tasks like getting dressed or, you know, opening
But you just never give up. You never give up. And, you know, no matter what these doctors said, you just challenged it, challenged it, until you got that definition of dystonia.
That's right,
Right, so then you knew, right, this is what we're dealing with now. Right. Now, what you also had to deal with was you love the socks of this guy and he loved the socks of you. And a big thing for you was to be able to say what?
This is a lot clearer. Not very clear. It's a clearer. Makes a lot of a difference.
So he's saying how much he loves you, and it got clearer and clearer. Give him a hug. Give him a hug for that.
Oh, well done.
How much did that mean to you?
I mean, it was amazing. Yeah. I mean, James is very good at telling me every day that I look nice and that he cares and loves for me. So he's really great. But for him to actually definitively say it, obviously, it's an amazing feeling.
And when you got married, it was too much for you, James, you said, to do your speech and vows. And...
Yeah, I'm too embarrassed. Not saying that har inte så här hände så här har så det.
But if you've met a surgeon or a doctor from America who's treating James, what's his prognosis now? How would his speech improve?
We met with this guy in London earlier this year, and he's actually a dentist and a craniofacial specialist. So, I mean, the guys that James had been seeing were kind of looking in his head of actually what's going on is in this area, it's in his jaw.
I think his jaw's not aligned.
This is it. It's called your TMJ joint, and it's almost like a C-shaped disc here.
So what's he doing here?
So here, this was a test that Dr. Mayer did, and he basically popped some spatulas in James' mouth to elevate the jaw. And the idea of this is to put the jaw back into alignment, okay? And when he did that, when he removed the spatulas, James could speak a lot clearer, and he could use
Straight away.
Pretty much, yeah.
Good luck, and
Thank you.
continue to improve, continue to stay in love. And it's just been an amazing story. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having
Vicky says
us.
he's an inspiration and role model to children like my son, who also has dystonia.
That's
so thank you very
amazing.
much for raising
That's
awareness
amazing.
as well.
Yes, definitely so.
Good
Thank
to meet
you.
you.